So, who are ancestors? Ancestors are essentially dead people. Even though in some African societies, people who are not dead, some people who are not dead may be considered ancestors. So, older people, for example, who are seen as closer to death, may be considered ancestors because they are closer to the ancestors. So these are the people who are ancestors, essentially dead people, even though there are some living people who may be considered ancestors in some indigenous societies. Now, who becomes an ancestor? This is an important question because in many African societies, not everyone becomes an ancestor. An ancestor is not just all the dead people. Ancestors are dead people who are remembered. Dead people who are remembered. So, the whole dynamic of ancestor is a function of memory. And who remembers? Those who remember are the people who are alive. The people who are alive are the ones who remember. So, ancestors are a creation of memory of the living, which is why it is so central to many African societies that ancestors are people who have offspring. That is, they have descendants, they have children who remember them. Because without these children, without the children, there will be no one to remember them. So this is a really critical issue in many African societies, which may raise a lot of questions. Because becoming an ancestor is based on memory. A condition of possibility of becoming an ancestor is that you have offspring. Now, I should say that in some African societies, there are people who become ancestors who do not have offspring. I think of the great African Cameroonian theologian, Father Jean-Marc Ella. He was a priest, of course, and he didn't have children. Well, not children that we know, not any that we know of, but he didn't have children as far as we know, and he was made an ancestor by his people when he died. So it is possible for someone who doesn't have children to become an ancestor. However, offspring is really having an offspring is really critical to becoming an ancestor, because being an ancestor is based on memory. It is based on the memory of those who are alive, and without those who are alive, there will be no ancestor.